YouTube. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I am your brother, Old God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam Ant Bottle Hip Hop News. We are in the building. Oh God, another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast live on this Friday evening.
Yeah, man.
What's good, my brother?
Chilling, man. Up in the building, rocking the exclusive viral hip hop news hat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? On ahead tonight, Sam, man, to give you the, where you can grab them, in a minute. But man, peace to everybody on a Friday night as usual at 8 p.m. Everybody coming in, do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. Sam, man, what's popping tonight?
Man, it feels good to be here this Friday evening, brother. Last week we were in New York City at Caroline's on Broadway. You know what I mean? If y'all want to know what happened at Caroline's, we do have exclusive content about our event, about our evening with TK Kirkland, exclusively on iTunes and Spotify. If you haven't jumped on it yet, make sure you jump on the movement, get our exclusive iTunes and Spotify edition of the Uncensored Truth Podcast, where we go all the way raw. Yeah. We know y'all be talking about it. Why they don't go Uncensored all the way? Fuck that. We go Uncensored over there on iTunes and Spotify, baby. So join with us. Everyone in the chat room, we see y'all right now. Make sure y'all drop them area codes.
Yeah.
Let us know where you at in the building. But oh God, what's good with you, man? How you feeling this evening?
Oh man, feeling great as always. Peace to everybody coming in the chat room. My man Darren Marion on the wrench tonight. EJ Kane, Elaine, Bird Gang, Evan, Rome, everybody. Like Sam Man said, drop them area codes. Let us know where you're at, man. We in the building tonight exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. And y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us, and we truly do appreciate that. So yeah, man, we gotta line up tonight. We're really gonna want see what the people want to talk about tonight. But
yeah, man,
we're gonna talk about a few things that's been going on. In the world. One, first the Kanye West thing with him, pretty much withdrawing from politics, as well as some other things that we got to talk about. T.I.'s being sued, for $5 million, and Wesley Snipes, owes the IRS $9.5 million. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk a little bit tonight. Definitely.
Indeed, man. 316 is in the building. 317-407-662-718-609. Jersey in the building. Indeed. 585-313-1773-713-312-205. The UK is in the building. Shout out to you. 478. Florida's in the building. Know you 504-773. Yo, we appreciate each and every one of y'all in the building with us. 314 was good. 330 in the building. 913-773 Indy 205. We appreciate all the love. We got a great show for y'all this evening.
Yeah,
glad y'all sticking around with the 702-404 as they keep coming in. Oh God, sir. Man, oh man, it feels good to be here with you this Friday evening.
Yeah,
let's get to it, man.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little business.
Hey, Sam, let them know where they can find the hats real quick, man.
Word, indeed. Well, I got them exclusively on eBay right now. I'll drop that link right now. But if you are subscribed to Viral Hip Hop News, you can find those in any one of my description box. I'll see if I can get that in the description box for this live broadcast as I'm going along.
No doubt.
If you guys are interested in the Viral Hip Hop News hats, let's get some of those cooking this evening. Indeed. I'll make sure I get that link for y'all. But yeah, man, it's exclusively on eBay. I'm about to get those on PayPal for you guys as well. So it'll be a lot easier to get those to you.
Awesome. Definitely. But yeah, also, man, follow our Instagram page right now. The link is at the top of the description page. Follow our Instagram page right now. If you want more news, faster news, a different variety, follow our Instagram page right now. You can see it right below me and right on top in the description box. We're going to get right into this tonight. You got my man Jay on the music as we turn that down and get into it tonight. Everybody listening, please do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. Now, Sam, man, we talked about Kanye West,
man,
and there were a lot of rumors. I think Ebro came out, pretty much said that the main reason why Kanye West is pretty much pulling back from politics is because when he wore that MAGA hat and he sat down with Trump, that the sales kind of declined. Now there were a lot of I know of course the Yeezys ain't they doing what they doing, but that's one of the things people put out there. A lot of other people were saying maybe that he was even threatened and told, look, fall back. We know the thing about the Brexit thing, asking black people to withdraw from the Democratic Party. Sam, man, what do you think the real reason is why Kanye withdrew, or saying he's not really giving a clear reason of what exactly he means, but he did say he's falling back and focusing on music. What do you think about that?
He's probably really sick and tired of people in the media, people in politics on both sides, people just everywhere around the world, because everyone has a voice and a platform nowadays, steering his words.
I feel you.
Saying things that really is out of context and things that aren't really true to him. Now, we all know, and he falls on the illness. He has the mental illness and things like that, and people like to prey on that. I think Kanye West, to a certain degree, likes to prey on that and likes to use that. Not to say that it's not legitimate,
right?
But I mean, you're a lot more together and with it than the mental illness. Don't prey on the mental illness, right? But they like to use that as a crutch. He's far more together than like he likes to put himself out as, or people like to put him in. So I think it was just a situation where he was tired of people steering his words. He knew what the objective was. He knew what his objective was when he went into the White House. He knew what he was trying to say with the whole MAGA hat issue. And he understood what it was doing to both left side and right side. Like we alluded to in the podcast earlier in the week, it seemed like the second he put on the MAGA hat, he had your quote unquote pro-black within the media automatically calling him coon, automatically saying this, steering that narrative. And then you had the super racist Caucasian white mayonnaise smelling Trump supporting people that strictly off of racism saying, yeah, we got this Negro thrown on the MAGA hat. See, he's drinking the Kool-Aid, blah, 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 blah. Neither one of them really understanding what was really going on in between the situation and what he was trying to really get across. So I think he was tired of that.
No doubt. No doubt. My man Moore put, man, he's no sympathy for Kanye. He's still an idiot. I mean, I don't agree with that 100%. You know, I think that, you know, maybe he could have, you know, got his message across more effectively. But I think that, you know, with the media, some media, you know, were able to decipher and really put the real meaning of the message, or at least highlight the real key points, you know, of what he was actually trying to accomplish. So
now I don't want to say that we're right or we're wrong in the situation, but I think that we objectively looked at it and tried to look at it and take away the nonsense that he was throwing out and take away the nonsense that the media was throwing out and get to the core reasoning. But like our man Monterey Moore, excuse me, a lot of people don't care. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So did he just paint? Did he do too much damage? Did he do a little too much? Is this a little bit to, is Kanye a little bit to blame for this? Because we are on the side of him a lot, but is he a little bit to blame for this?
I mean, it could have been, you know, I think people were kind of, you know, taken aback by like the kind of ass kissing. I can only say the best way I can, you know, that he kind of showed Trump too much, you know what I mean, love and support. You know what I mean? That's what they were kind of, that's what I hear people saying. I read the comments and that's pretty much the sentiment. Maybe they wanted him to go in there with a more militant posture, I guess. I don't know. As far as, you know, I don't know. I think I get a lot of people kind of saying that, but nevertheless, it is what it is. And I didn't think that it was going to really move stuff forward like that anyway. It's just another moment and people forget about it the next few days and they talking about, you know, something else. So
well, something that the black community they ain't forgetting about, especially when it pertains to Kanye, is his comments on slavery. 400 years of slavery was a choice. I see a lot of people in the comment section right now bringing that up and they're not getting over that. What do you think about that, oh God?
Well, you know, everything has a context, you know, to what he was saying, and everybody, you know, depending on who you talk to, may think that, you know, he meant it in a certain way. Obviously, we, you know, talked to a nauseum on a podcast about what exactly we thought, you know, he meant by it. So, you know, it just depends on who you are, your walk of life, your worldview, on how you decipher, you know, what exactly Kanye West was trying to say with that whole thing.
Elaborate on that. What I mean by elaborate is for the people who didn't watch those shows, you know what I mean? When you hear slavery was a choice and we broke down the context in which we thought it meant, you know what I mean? Elaborate on your thoughts on what that means.
Well, I mean, you know, he was saying it like, you know, slavery might, you know, he looked at it like a lot of people got upset because they thought that he might have been saying like that we actually sat up here and chose to go through all of those years, like, you know, that we couldn't, like, people didn't try, people didn't die, people didn't even kill to try to get out of these conditions. And the fact that we got out of these conditions, you know, shows that we actually didn't, you know, choose it. You know, it's just like people don't choose to go to jail. People try to break out, but they still there. You know what I mean? So sometimes things, you have wars that go on for sometimes 10, sometimes 50, sometimes hundreds, sometimes even thousands of years. You know, people struggle. And now you still got people, you know, struggling for a real true freedom because it's still not, you know, completely, you know, a lot of people will, you know, say now that it's more mental, you know, but then you look at the prison population and they're mentally and physically still enslaved and in prison. So we got a long way to go, you know, as a people. But I was able to see through what he meant, but he may not be, and maybe not even myself. Everybody has different skills, and maybe not, you know, speaking. Maybe he could have wrote it better. Maybe he could have rapped it better than he actually communicated to the people. That's why they took it that way, in my opinion.
I agree, and you put that right on the head. I'm glad that you articulated it like that, because I couldn't agree more.
Right.
He was in a situation where we understood what he meant, but he said it so wrong, and in such a way, and on a platform, and in an outburst. Every way that you painted it, that shit looked wrong. And even though we may have been able to get away from the initial shock value that it was when we heard the statement, we can go, okay, we understand that. We understand the power of Stockholm syndrome, which a lot of slaves and a lot of our ancestors dealt with coming out of slavery and being freed from slavery. A lot of them were known to go back and not know what to do. You see a lot of ex-cons going through the kind of same Stockholm syndrome. This is definitely a disease. So I think that he was going toward like it was a choice. It was, hey, we had death. We had revolt. We had different kind of other options that we could have maybe went upon. And maybe if it would have went a different direction, who knows? But I think in the way he made a narrative in that situation made him look completely bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Bad as hell, man.
Definitely. So, you know, nevertheless, man, he's definitely still doing his thing, you know, with the sneakers, you know, the Adidas brand. There was even rumors that he was breaking the Big Baller, you know, brand. It hasn't been really confirmed yet. We did speak briefly on the podcast. So yeah, man, you know, definitely, man. Shout out to Kanye. I know people are going to throw rocks at me for that, but you know, shout out to him. He is trying and using his voice, you know, for something at least positive. There's more that I could say about some of these other. Remember, he still is a rapper. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Oh God, you know what? I give you credit for it, because people might give us a little slack for saying some things, but we talk the real, and we're not afraid to give it to you really in our opinion. And we don't mind people debating. We don't mind people disagreeing, because this is what we do. We don't run from any nonsense. We ain't on here jumping around and doing the fuckery that you may usually see on a Friday night or like to jump on. You know what I mean? We're trying to give it to you real and authentic about real topics. So we embrace it, man. Bring it on.
Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam. Man, everybody listening, do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that you share this video before we go even further. The people are lighting up the comment section. Please go ahead and drop your area code too, so at some point we can definitely announce the city that you're tuned into the podcast on. Now, this story, man, you know, our brother Wesley Snipes, you know, it's pretty much, you know, we all know he went to prison, you know, for the whole tax thing. Well, he initially owed the IRS, I think it was $23.5 million, but somehow, you know, he was able to settle out for $9.5 million. Now, currently, according to the article, you know, Wesley Snipes offered them, instead of paying the $9.5 million, he offered them $850,000, which they denied. Now they're pretty much demanding the final order that he pay up $9.5 million, you know, to avoid any other, you know, collections or even possibly even more jail time. Sam, man, what's your thoughts on Wesley Snipes owing 9.5 bands?
Well, as you were reading that, I went and looked up his net worth, not to be in the brother's pockets. You know what I mean? Y'all save all that. But I looked up his net worth, and as of August 9th, his net worth is $10 million. So, and you ain't got to be a mathematician to do simple arithmetic. 9.5 minus 10, that leaves him with $500,000 to his name, which is a lot, but we don't know his expenses. We all know how shit can go. They taking all of his stuff. Now, you mean to tell me, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So did he fall into another situation where he fucked up on his taxes? We can't believe that. So damn, what's going on? $9.5 million. How long does it take to accumulate that kind of debt and owe that kind of debt to the IRS? Did he just get out of jail, like you said? Yeah. Am I being a novice to this? Doesn't this seem kind of quick?
I mean, it's a lot of things. You can go on YouTube. YouTube has everything where people kind of get into the whole Wesley Snipes conspiracy about some of the things he was involved in. I think, like I said, I was telling you earlier in the pre-production about a brother, I can't remember who, but was talking about how Wesley was doing something in the South where he was kind of training people up. And I know people are going to watch this later. They're going to be like, yeah, he was doing so-and-so in the comment section. So we will look at that later on, but it's not confirmed or anything. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know, you know, too much about this to really give too much about it. But, you know, hopefully they're not trying to pick on him. But stranger things have been done, man. Stranger things have been done.
Well, he got the Dolomite coming out now. He's finally seeming to do more movies. I believe that's coming out with Mike Epps, Eddie Murphy's in that shit. I can't wait to see that movie. I keep seeing little clips and snippets for it on IG and stuff. I cannot wait to see it because Eddie Murphy's one of the greatest of all time. Mike Epps is putting himself as one of the greatest comedians of all time, stamping his name in there.
Really?
And Wesley Snipes as one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, throughout his time.
Okay.
I wouldn't put him in the GOATs yet, but he's definitely of this generation, one of the best that they've seen for sure. But when it comes to Wesley Snipes on his comeback, it's really exciting to see, because we remember him in the Blade movies, and then he was on, you know what I mean? Who was he on? Mo Better Blues back in the day, and we all remember what was my my joint with damn, why am I forgetting the movie?
Jack City.
New Jack motherfucking City. Nino Brown.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I think that was one of the first movies we seen when we started cursing. You know what I mean?
That movie was crazy, man.
New
watching
Jack
that.
City,
then
man.
like the sex scenes being young, because that came out, it was young. What year was that? Like 89 maybe?
Man, I want to look it up. Maybe 91.
Okay, if y'all know what year New Jack City come out, you know, throw it in the chat room real quick. We definitely want to know. Fly, Eagles Fly, that's what I'm talking about.
91.
91.
Yeah, I remember,
okay.
man. Yeah,
I was 6.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow. Man.
And we watched that. We watched that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Crazy.
Man, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, a lot of great movies. A lot of great movies.
Didn't your dad take you to Juice back in like 92 in the movie theater? Didn't you go see? I remember you telling me you seen Juice in the movie
I seen
theater.
a lot of stuff in the movie theater. Juice was the joint, man.
Hell yeah.
Jersey, and you know, Pop. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, Omar Epps, Pac.
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, we got the hood classic, no doubt. Definitely. So what do you think like with the movies now though, man? You don't really see too much like hood classics like that no more. Why they don't do that no more? Why do you think?
They're not what they used to be, and they used to tell such a great story, because they put people in the living room of what we were going through out here. If you were a little bit comfortable, you didn't see it, we heard about it, but they put it in the picture. Your Boys in the Hoods, your South Centrals, your Juice. What else we got? Menace to Society.
Yeah,
great movies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, your New Jack City.
Yeah.
We need to put a list. What's your top 5 black movies? You know what I mean, back in the day. What would you say your top was? Because we watched them all, man.
Yeah,
and nauseum.
You know, Friday was even a great one.
Friday was a great one. 95. It came out 95.
Yeah, you know, Friday. It was just so many good ones, and I wish we would get back, you know, to that. Now the comparison now is like you see like the Kevin Harts, you know, the Tyler Perry. Those are the kind of guys who are on the forefront, you know, right now. What do you think about their movies? You know, the new one with Tiffany Haddish, she was in. Are you playing? Is that like your style? Do you deal with those type of movies now?
I tried just to support, but they're not my movies, man.
I feel you.
And they're not the movies are old. I could still sit back. I could watch New Jack City tonight and be all into it.
Oh yeah.
And bring it back and you know, just remember it. I could watch South Central right now. Fuck that Sherm hit. You know what I mean? Like just and bring that back to the days. And I can remember this any of the movies. I've seen somebody in the comment section put Demolition Man. I remember that. Blank Man.
Vampire in Brooklyn. Right.
You know what I mean?
Classic
movies. Even the comedies aren't the same. Like you said, the Kevin Hart movie that came out, and you don't see your Harlem Nights anymore. You don't see them Eddie Murphy movies that came out to crack you up. Let's talk about the dresses real quick, because we dropped something. We dropped something on Cat Williams.
Yeah,
and we were the only couple of people that dropped that, and that was real dope. But they got on us a little bit. It was a little bit of a mixed reaction about that. And a lot of people were bringing up Eddie Murphy when it came to him.
Yeah.
And Martin Lawrence, two people that we regard as some of the top comedians of all time. And I remember as kids, we both watched Nutty Professor, cracked us the fuck up. We watched Coming to America, cracked us the fuck up.
Miss Doubtfire
with Robin Williams.
Right.
So talk about that. And a lot of people are saying you see a lot of actors in dresses, even white people. So just talk about the black male in dresses. Are we talking about that too much? Are we putting too much stock into that, or is it some weight to what we're saying?
Nah, it's definitely weight, you know, to what we're saying. Yeah, people bring the argument up. You know, there's been some whites, you know, in dresses. We've seen that, but it just seems like, you know, when you go down the list of anybody who's prominent, anybody who's you know, supposed to be like a real masculine male, seem like they had to either put the dress on or do some type of emasculating scene in Hollywood, you know, and it seemed like it becomes a trend. You know, I don't want to see, like, it was all cool when Martin was doing the Shanae and all that, and Jamie Foxx, all them characters doing it. But then it's like, it was all cool. But then it's like, you know, it just goes too far. And I think as a man, you know, there's certain things that you have to do. And I think it just looks bad on us. And I think, you know, me personally, blacks, we need some type of like an anti-defamation type league, you know, where we can, you know, guard our images and stuff out there, because they'll put us in any kind of, and I'm not really worried whatever people do, like whatever they do, they thing, but we got to be worried about us. Right. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they put us in some real compromising positions. And even, you know, some people were saying about Cat Williams, they're like, how's he even talking when he did the scene in Friday? I forget which Friday it was, but he did the scene where the dude was running around trying to get him in a, you know what I mean, in the behind. So it's just like, you know, there's definitely, you hear people talking out about it. There's definitely, you know, something to that whole dress thing. I'm not going to, you know, I don't care what people say in the comment section. I see it.
Nah, yeah, there's no doubt about it. And it wouldn't be something there's weight goes to it when you see somebody like a Dave Chappelle completely leave comedy, completely leave millions of dollars and then talk about it. Talk about how they wanted to have him in Blue Streak do some wild shit, put a dress on, and he said no, and then they came back and they were persistent about it, how weird it was.
Right.
We seen Martin at the height of his career get caught up in a situation where he almost killed himself, screaming, they're trying to kill me, they're trying to kill me. There's a lot of weird things that we've seen happen that's unexplainable. Now, a lot of it you could put to the conspiracy theorists, but a lot of it has some weight and has something to it. We've seen a lot of males get put in dresses, and we've, you know what I mean, like you said, your Mrs. Doubtfires, Robin Williams, your Nutty Professors, your Sinead's, your Wandas. We grew up kind of like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but it was always something like
image is everything, Sam, man. Image is everything, because even when we coming up, when you're looking at the all your superheroes, we just now really got a superhero with the Black Panther, with the recent, not to say they wasn't out before, but all the superheroes are white men,
right? You
know what I mean? So images mean, you can't sit up here and act like images don't mean something. If all we see is people who's supposed to be the men, the backbone of the community, in dresses, laughing, doing handstands, backflips,
right,
and you know, all types of stuff, wearing colorful dresses, purses, that's fuck shit at the end of the day, man. Facts. Come on, man. Like when you going to stand up and say, nah, we got dignity, we got pride, this is not how we carry ourselves as a people.
What do you think about a Tyler Perry? Now he's killing off Madea, if you haven't heard that. You know what I mean? He's going off this year, I think, 2019.
Right.
Talk about a Tyler Perry. What do you think about him? Is he on some fuck shit?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I'm not taking nothing away from these cats. You know, they obviously, you know, have talent, tremendous levels of talent. They make great movies, you know, sometimes that people watch. Sometimes they can go into their bag and do some real good stuff, some real good family movies, some good moral storylines. But I don't know, man. I just, you know, I wasn't raised that way. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm just, you know, that's just the way I am, but that's not how we rock. You know what I'm saying? It's just not how we do it. So, and for us to continue to perpetuate that and show kids like that's normal, I think we definitely doing a disservice to the children, man.
What do you say to those people that go, okay, but we hating on our Black stars nowadays? What do you want us to do?
It's not hating,
right?
It's just it's telling the truth.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Hating on what? We ain't got nothing to hate on. We should be able to, you know, speak our opinion, you know, freely. You know, we're not stopping nothing they doing. We can't stop it, and people are still going to see it. But we drawing a line in the sand on how we do it, and my kids and my family, that's just not how we rock.
Facts. You know I mean, that's not how we grew up on.
Yeah.
We ain't grow up ever judging anybody or looking at anybody crazy. But at the end of the day, you do what you do and we do what we do.
Right.
And you ain't going to sit there and perpetuate or put a narrative on us. We're strong will, free thinkers, and this is how we going to roll. So shout out to everyone doing what they do. But you obviously see there are some people out there that don't have to do that and don't have to bend down or go to a certain level to gain success and to gain notoriety. Denzel Washington and others, to name a few. So yeah, no doubt, the real ones out there. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And it's, you know, definitely. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sam, man, on this Friday night exclusively on Hip Hop Uncensored. We need everybody's participation real quick. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. And if you got time, go ahead and share this video as we're going in on the Uncensored Truth podcast. Go ahead and drop your area code. We want to know exactly where y'all listening at tonight. We do appreciate y'all in advance, definitely.
Oh God, I caught this real quick in the comment section as it was scrolling through. They wanted to get our opinion on Bad Boys 3. We seen our man Will Smith, Martin Lawrence about to drop that joint. So tell them a little bit. What's your thoughts on Bad Boys 3?
I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited about that shit, dog. I'm telling you, man, that's one of my favorites. When you talk about movies, that's one of my, you know, I can watch that over and over every single episode. I think that's great. You know, great director, you know, those two together, man, kind of make magic. Not kind of, they do.
Yeah.
Martin and Will, they should do, you know, think about doing more movies together, more storylines. So yeah, it's been a long time coming out. They should have been done it. I don't know, like with us, like sometimes, man, like when they get great movies, man, like what was the whole thing that was like, you said it was some contractual issues that made it take this long?
Yeah, at first it was, I think it was some movie house issues like your Friday. And then it was a situation where Martin was on, he was off. It was some money situations. It was a lot going on. You know what I mean? And did we have Will Smith always upbeat, always positive, kind of putting on a real good show when it came to is it ever going to come out? But it was never really coming out. They switched producer, I believe. Who was doing it? Michael Bay was the producer of the first two, and then he was out, and then they brought in another producer, and it was just a bunch of stuff. So I had something on Viral Hip Hop News probably over a year ago now saying this movie would never come out, doing research and things like that. And I got a lot of slack for it. But the video's staying up. Stick to my word, because I was legit at the time, and I'm glad that I was wrong, because now the movie's coming out. Like you said, the original came out in '95, man. And I remember when it came out and seeing those two brothers. When you look at Martin's show and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air too, probably being my two favorite shows out there when you're mixing your Family Matters too, and a couple other shows. Those are my two favorite shows, and Martin and Will probably being some of my two favorite actors.
Saying, man, images. Images, once again, man, they mean a lot. Us young, we used to watch people on TV and want to go out and emulate them. You know that, whether it be sports. When we see, it was cool to see Mike Lowry. You know what I mean? He had all the women. He had the money. You know, he was a jock. He was a cop. He wasn't scared of shit. Then you had he was a married man. He was a family man. You know what I mean? Like that. So these are cool. Nobody on the dress. Nobody getting bent over. No compromising situation. Even though they kind of, you know, told the line with that one when he had the ecstasy and all that. That was a little crazy, but they ain't really go too far with that. I think that was
Bad Boys too.
Too. So yeah, man, it's definitely not to go too far into that, man. I love those two brothers. You know, one of my definitely two of my favorite actors out there, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Facts, for sure. When it goes through the line, and they both got their criticism, but come on, man, they two of the goats.
Now, when you think about Martin, though, do you think that takes away from his credibility? You know, as a comedian and an actor. The fact that he played all these different, you know, I think he was Big Mama's House, which he did a great job. And those, it's one of those things like with that, man, it was kind of funny. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man, that was a weird. What do you think about that? I want to ask you, do you think it takes away from his credibility that the fact that he was willing to throw on a dress?
This is a hard one for me, man, because it's one of my favorite.
We live now in front of everybody, man.
Yeah, ain't nobody worried about
that. Man.
I love the people out there. Like I'm just not gonna lie. I'm gonna sit back and think about this one for a second.
No doubt. Do you think
it's not an easy one, because on one side of the grain, like I grew up watching Martin. He that came out when I was a kid. So, and I remember one of the first couple of episodes was Shanae winning this contest, and she got to be with Kid from Kid and Play.
Right.
And he was on his lap and doing all this stuff, and it was funny. But then as you grow up, you realize I was a grown man on another man's lap. It's like, whoa.
Right. Facts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So as a kid, it really didn't affect me as much, because I looked at the greatness of his character, of how many roles he can play. And I kind of looked at Eddie Murphy the same way when he did The Nutty Professor, and I watched him on Coming to America, played all them different roles. I guess a woman never kind of even stared into my subconscious like that early on, until I got old enough to go, wait, that's Martin playing Shanae. And he was sitting on that grown man's lap. That's so-and-so. That was Wanda. That was Jamie Foxx in there trying to get kisses from all these other mothers. Whoa. It's one thing about acting, but what if you slip or something? Like, whoa.
Right.
I don't know if I can go to that level of acting.
Now, what do you say about the people who say, look, man, there are people out there, this is just art imitating life imitating art, whatever, because there are people out there who do practice this lifestyle, you know.
What?
There are people out there who do practice this lifestyle. So we want to homosexuality.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? Or bisexual, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, got you.
We want to put a character no different than Empire in there to reach this, to let these group of people know, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, we do acknowledge, we know, we want to make it as realistic as possible. And we do know we have, you know, people that have that certain lifestyle. What do you think about the people who actually present that argument?
Good for them.
No doubt.
Good for them. Great for them.
Yeah.
That's your opinion.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you.
No doubt.
I'm just, I just can't, I can only give you my honest opinion on what my eyes see and what they project and what they bring in. And as a heterosexual man with equal rights, and say, as the homosexual community and vice versa, it's weird to me. And not homosexuality, I'm not saying that, but seeing someone in character that isn't homosexual sit there in a heterosexual role and play a role, it gets kind of weird to me. No, I'm not mad. Like, if, okay, like your Medeas or something like that, if it wasn't any sexual acts going on and they just had to play a woman role and do something funny, that's different. Because I remember Shanae in a number of roles. Remember she was at the nail salon, and she was buffing Wanda's nails. She was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Hilarious. She wasn't trying to get with a dude though. So it was kind of different. That's just shit.
Definitely, man. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Oh God and Sam, man. We going in tonight on this Friday night. Everybody listening, please hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. Sam, man, I want to just talk about this real quick, man. Let's talk about little sports real quick, man.
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I mean? We seen the Eagles picked up my man,
Yeah,
Golden Tate.
yeah.
And I said the other day, you know what I mean? I think this is the move that would get them over the hump and get them, you know, to the Super Bowl. And I've seen a lot of analysts, Stephen A. Smith, Chris Carter, you know, a lot of people, you know, pretty much agreeing with me that, yeah, you know, and I'm definitely an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
You know, we won a bowl last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a big time pickup, man. What do you think about don't be biased because you're like these sorry ass skins, man. Right. Nah, I ain't gonna disrespect my man Sean Taylor like that. I put that back.
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying. But what do you think about that though? Eagles getting Golden Tate.
I think a lot of y'all riding the Eagles nuts, and I'm not mad at y'all for doing that because they won the Super Bowl and y'all are allowed to. Golden Tate isn't a number one receiver. Right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but he's a great slot receiver. He's a great compliment to a great Eagles offense already with a great quarterback. I say he's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league as much as I don't like the Eagles. Right. I can't hate on Carson Wentz. Young dude is balling. I ain't mad at him. I love your defense. Your defense really always comes out and really plays. Mm-hmm. It's just, it looks like there's a little bit missing off of that Super Bowl flair. And not to be biased, but the team that's in front of the NFC East right now, the Redskins, even though it's young, my team, we picked up Ha Clinton Dix as well, even though his name is funny as hell. His name is funny as hell. The Green Bay dude, Ha Clinton Dix. Damn, his parents for naming him that. But great secondary, great safety. We picked him up shortly after y'all picked up Golden Tate. So it looks like we're playing a little chess out there in the NFC East. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't know what week we play you guys, but we got an important game this week as well as y'all. So we'll see what happens. We didn't know if we were going to watch football like this, but we ended up just kind of buckling. And that's another thing I wanted to ask you. You know, there's been a lot of articles that came out. You know what I'm saying? That it's a lot of quarterbacks, you know, that it's a lot of teams in need of great quarterbacks right now. The phone is still not ringing for our brother, Colin Kaepernick. What are your thoughts on that? You know, him not still not like, we don't want to be bothered with this dude who's protesting. Yeah. You know, for black men being shot down in the street. What do you think about that? I think Colin Kaepernick doesn't need the NFL. Fuck the NFL. And it cracks me up when I still hear people going, Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. What makes you think he wants to work for the NFL? Right. What makes you think he wants a job? Mm-hmm. Let me paint this picture to me. Okay, I took a knee. I stood for what I believed in. Mm-hmm. I got the love. People recognize me as being this real motherfucker who I really am. I kept my body. I kept my mind. I kept my soul intact. I could get acting deals. I can get shoe deals. I can get all these deals right now, bringing all this guaranteed money without the risk of getting hurt, without the risk of being opinionated on, because you know the second if he gets back into the NFL, he throws one interception, they're taking that everywhere. I go through that. Fuck the NFL. You can make more money outside the NFL. So for the people that say, why doesn't he have a job? I'm asking you, why would he want one? True. I think people just keep bringing it up just to you know what I'm saying? Yeah, my man put Nike definitely, you know, broke him off big time. So he don't need the NFL, like you said. But again, people bring that up just to kind of keep throwing, you know, fuel on the fire. Now I'll say that he's probably better still than 50% of the quarterbaks out nowadays. I watched the Raiders play the San Francisco 49ers yesterday. What a shit game that was. Right. 1-6 versus 1-7. What pathetic displays of football that was. Now I'll give it to the 49ers. I think they whipped them. The last time I looked at it, it was 31-7. The Raiders great a couple years ago. San Francisco great a couple years ago when they had Kaepernick and Alex Smith went to the Super Bowl. And now both laughing stocks in the NFL. It's sad for California teams. Now we know Oakland or whatever, LA, whatever they are now. I think they're Oakland Raiders still. They're moving out to Los Angeles, so they look like they're easily tanking right now this season. But there's a number of teams that can use a Colin Kaepernick right now, his skill set. And it is a mockery that he hasn't gotten an offer, but I wouldn't even accept it if it were came. No doubt. PR Ryder put, what about Malcolm Jenkins selling out Colin and Eric? We did a segment on that. We never uploaded it, but it is on the podcast. It's on iTunes. Right. It's on Spotify. Yeah, we did talk about that. And we talked, and that was a hard one for us too, because I said here on this podcast early on that I admired Malcolm Jenkins for what he was doing, and I put you up on it with Colin, with a couple of Eagles were playing with doing, bringing light on situations that were going on, injustices that were going on within the community. And then we seen Eric Reid for the Carolina Panthers go out there and check his ass quick, and then make no bones about it. He's a sellout. He sold this out, he sold that out, he sold the movement out, and made us do a little more research. And he was just like, damn, Malcolm, we love to have you on the podcast to ask you some questions. You know what I mean? No, he took the high road in that situation, but you would too if you were receiving money and told to shut up.
People be scared to come over here, man, because they already know they're not going to get no bullshit off over here.
Talk about it.
We're going to, you know, and that's the thing. We, you know, we're very respectful, you know, people, but there's a reason why we, you know, have the name Uncensored, viral, you know, the things that because we're going to keep it a buck and we're going to get to the 100% fact. So you're not going to come on here and think you're gonna, you know, get one over our head or underneath whatever you're trying to do. So yeah, a lot of people scared. Definitely.
I want to extend on that more, but I seen a comment come through from my man Mondre Moore, and he said Eric Reid should have handled that better.
Okay.
We talked about that. We talked about Stephen A. Smith on First Take when he first came out, and he talked about it and said that he should have handled it better. What do you mean by that? Give us your perspective on that, brother. How should he have handled that? Because that would be that'll be a great argument, because we kind of were leaning toward the line where he did it right. And a lot of people may have thinking he should have did it wrong. And because he should have put that brother in his place in a separate manner, somewhere private, not on the cameras and not in front of the people going, see, this is what's going on here, there, and everywhere. I guess that was Stephen A. Smith's overall premise, but he danced and moonwalked all over that shit.
I mean, it probably could have, you know, you say that about a lot of stuff. He could have handled it better, but it needed to happen. You know what I mean? So it's out there now at this point, you know. I don't think Malcolm Jenkins still hasn't said anything.
He took the high road. He said he's not going to talk about the brother. He glad that Eric Reid has a job. He's not mad at him. He's not going to address this situation over the media. He'll leave it where it's at.
Okay, he said it just wasn't the time. Okay, I feel you on that.
I hear you.
Definitely agree with that. Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. Yes. And man, what do you think about the T.I. situation? You know, if you're not aware, T.I. is being sued by a group of 25, you know, investors, pretty much, you know, saying that they put $1.3 million, you know, into a company that he headed. You know, they were promised a lot of different things. Nothing, you know, was, you know, nothing was fulfilled. So the group of 25 investors, him and another partner and a few partners of T.I. now, you know, are facing a $5 million lawsuit. And they were dealing with cryptocurrency and a startup company. Kevin Hart's name was even dragged in it, like he would be like the face of the company. What do you think about T.I. once again? There's not a lot more information on it, but just your preliminary thoughts.
Man, this what we talk about a lot on this podcast as well. People, rappers in the hip hop community being sued. We see that often, and we see this is just something that happens in business and things that happen. But this one seems a little more serious. This is a lot of money, man. This is a couple dollars in cryptocurrency, and we do see paper trails of him kind of head starting this thing and things going on with his name on it and him being the forefront of it. Like you said, it was something that came out, I believe, in 2017. Kevin Hart endorsing it and endorsing T.I. with it. So, yeah, man, we'll see how this one plays out. He might be having to owe somebody a couple dollars. We'll see, man.
Yes,
it doesn't look good, man. We talk about T.I. a lot on this podcast. T.I. probably don't like you too much.
Hey,
if he watches the podcast, I mean, we're fans of T.I.
Oh yeah,
love his music,
definitely.
But gonna keep it 100. Got to at all times.
Yeah,
we probably don't like you.
We got that famous video about him and my man. I forgot the name. The dude they used to ride with.
Young Dro.
Yeah.
Young Dro.
Yeah, Young Dro.
Young Dro.
Yeah. So you know, that is what it is. But we love you, T.I. man. We gotta do what we gotta do over here. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth. Haters will be putting in time, no doubt. You tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam. Man, everybody listening, do me a favor. We only ask you to do two things. Hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. And I want to talk about this real quick. You know what I mean? Even though this has been, you know, talked to, you know, reported on to ad nauseum, but I just want to touch on for the people who don't know that are listening and who didn't see it, because I can't assume that people are subscribed to other channels out there. ARAB, you know, his bail was denied the other day after appearing in federal court. Now, ARAB does have an attorney, you know, if people were wondering, a Philly lawyer that is representing him. So, his bail was denied. And he, you know, him and 8 other people are being charged on federal drug charges right now, that they pretty much conspired to take drugs from California, and other states, and bring them back to Philadelphia and actually sell those drugs. And we do have a interview coming up with an OBH rapper real soon, so that's gonna be real dope. But yeah, when you think about that, Sam, man, for the people who didn't hear your commentary, what's your thoughts on that ARS bill being denied?
It's a serious, and we talked about it. We went on the perspective of a little bit on a lot of the outlets out here jumping on the story without even really having proper knowledge, or just doing it for the sake of views and just notoriety and things like this, because ARAB's name is hot, and not really taking into account that there's families, there's children, there's people that were employed by ARAB that are being directly affected by this man sitting behind bars right now. There's also a lot of people out there saying that this man justly deserves to sit behind bars because he sold jails and poison to the community, and he did this or did that. Painting the pictures though ARAB made this shit in his kitchen himself and created it himself and manufactured it and did all this, and he had options to get out and he had options to do this. Let's not really get into what's really going on. We'll do that exclusively on iTunes and Spotify. Y'all can get the uncensored truth right there on iTunes, Spotify. If you ain't tuned into that now, make sure the 132 people in the building go right over there to your iPhones or your Google Plays, whatever the fuck you got, and subscribe and listen to it raw, real, and uncut. But it is really crazy when you see how the narrative is being steered and how they're not even allowing this man to get it out of just allowed bail. And it looks like he may be spending the rest of his life in jail. Now, it's a lot of people that say he did it to himself, talking too much, putting too much out there. To a certain degree, we agree to. A lot of people nowadays need to just kind of tuck off a lot more. A lot of people jumped on platforms and did things like that and maybe felt as though it was the popular thing to do because it's known that goes down.
Do you
on
blame
the sort
Vlad
of platform.
though? A lot of people, and that's what my man Monterey Moore put. Everybody's kind of came out and said Vlad got this and Vlad got that. What are your thoughts on that for the people who didn't hear that?
Well, you know what? I tell you what, we also have Kenyatta Griggs. Yeah, I mean, author for Culture Vultures with Dame Dash.
That's gonna be power.
Secret of Ballin'.
That's gonna be power.
Author, hip hop motivation CEO. He'll be on the podcast next week. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Had some interaction with Vlad, so I can't wait to talk to him about that. Vlad said I had a couple comments on the ARAB situation, saying he was sorry and prayers out to his family. I'm not going to blame Vlad for a grown man going on and saying what he says.
You serious?
But you know what? I'm not going to blame Vlad. I'm not going to blame Vlad. And this is why. He knows what his subscribers, he knows what his listeners like to hear based off of the number of views that he does, based off of the certain kind of content he does. And when people were talking about the old drug game and what they're talking about when they were moving this kind of key or this brick and that's on the title, you're getting that click quick. And he realized that and seeing the money he can go. Vlad's a businessman first and foremost. So he's one of those white guys that's going to go, listen, I'm going to tell you that it's wrong. I'm going to tell you not to drink the lean, but I'm not going to make you stop.
My thing is, it's like, you know, what rappers got to understand when you're on social media, these interviews, you might as well treat it like you're in a police interrogation room. And anything you wouldn't say to the police, you shouldn't pretty much say in that interview. I know it sounds, and a lot of people kind of said people are kind of trying to, they want to get the people what they want to hear, but I wouldn't even feel comfortable. And I'm not saying that I'm blaming Vlad per se, but I wouldn't feel comfortable asking people the type of questions that I've caught Vlad asking some people. Now, they don't have to answer them. They have their liberty not to answer them, but there are some questions. I'm like, well, whoa, I wouldn't even, you know, and I've heard other podcasters who said they had to go back and even went back and listen to stuff. So you might not catch it in the first, but you go back and listen and start editing. You're like, whoa, did this person just incriminate themselves? And you got to look at it like, if I was on here and I would say something and we're out in front of how many people ever going to see this thing and they're police watching, which I know they probably are right now. You know what I mean? They could take something here and that could lead them to investigate me. And then, you know, we never know. So you got to be very careful. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. No, somebody in the comment section was saying, does ARF fall under RICO? And you were telling me that he does, right? They're trying to get him under the RICO Act too.
Yeah.
Like it's real.
They trying to get, it's real. He's facing a lot of time. You know what I mean? Under that, he's being painted as a leader, you know, of a drug trafficking, you know, organization and a leader, you know, of a gang. And that's the way they're painting him. They say they got people who came out, you know, all that. So he's got to wait right now and see. He does have an attorney working on the case, you know, which I did give her a call and, you know, she wasn't giving up, you know, too much information. I just wanted to find out, you know, a few things, you know. I definitely wanted to write the brother. But yeah, man, definitely. We're going to see how this goes. Not looking real good, but we got to be careful what we say on social media.
You talked about you wouldn't ask those type of questions. That goes to the cloth that we were just cut from, man.
Mm-hmm.
We have a certain level of respect, and we both grew up under some real OGs that told us real early, certain people in certain situations, you don't ask certain questions.
Facts.
Certain things
Facts.
you just don't ask about. And somebody that did time, somebody that did this, somebody that did that, you have to have that respect level when knowing as much as you want to ask and as curious and genuine as you are, because we both looked at some motherfuckers and went, damn, I wonder what they did. I would love to ask them this, and we might have had our conversation, but never dared do it because we were taught under a certain respect level. Now you don't ask those certain kind of questions.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't come about. He's cut under a different cloth where media is everything, and maybe that's what comes first. That's not how we built. Not how we ever would be built, not how this podcast is built. So we'll always get to the tough, real questions that you people want to hear and need to be addressed.
Right.
But someone's personal business, something that could potentially incriminate somebody, destroy family, destroy life, that ain't what we're looking for over here. Y'all can keep that to yourself.
Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast once again with your brother, Old God, and Sam Ant-Man. Every Friday night, exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. At 8 p.m. We're getting it in, tonight. So yeah, man, it's been another one, man. Another great one. We definitely appreciate everybody who rocked out with us, tonight, and everybody who, rocks out with the platforms and all that. Is definitely love, all throughout the building. Definitely.
Indeed. Make sure y'all drop those zip codes right now. If y'all got not zip codes, my bad, area codes. People get on me about that. Don't drop them long ass zip codes. Drop your area codes right now. We'll throw a little music on, man. Let us know if there's any other topic of conversations y'all want us to talk about right now. My little man just came and had his first school dance tonight, man.
Yes.
Damn.
It's crazy, man.
They getting old, man. I remember my first school dance, going to school, getting dressed up right.
I remember wanting to go.
Damn, we'll talk about it, man. Why do you ain't get to go to the dance,
man? I grew up in a church household.
Oh shit.
Where we couldn't do nothing. We, nothing like that. We couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't go to the movies. Everything was of the devil. We was going to hell. So I mean, that pretty much is what it is, man.
Talk about that. Did that make you more wild? Were you more wild because of that? Like once you got a chance to really break out and get out on your own, did that make you just like?
Well, the thing is, when you cage people in, it's like you kind of leave the curiosity open, so they want to go now. It's like when you get out there, not to say that I was like that, but I've heard stories of people when they were able to get free, they went buck wild.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? But everybody has to go. I'll put it like this: go through their own little experience, in life. And if people try to hold you back from doing something you want to do, you're gonna do it anyway.
That's a fact.
At some point,
you're gonna damper and try it regardless. So that's why I'm glad early on I had a little bit of a leash to where I can experiment, but I always had that it'll come right back. So I had a chance to live and learn and know what to do and what not to do. Because there was plenty of shit I did that I wasn't supposed to do.
Smoke weed every day.
Uh-oh.
No doubt. My man Castro put that in it. But the 316, is in the building tonight. Everybody dress up for Halloween or what? Say nah.
my son got cheated in his costume contest. He was Black Panther. Go figure. My son was motherfucking Killmonger. He ain't even let them school people have that.
They had that. They had that. What you call it?
The Gold Boy Killmonger.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jay was Killmonger, man. It was dope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that, Derek Curtis. We in 313. You in the D? Okay. I knew you was out in the D. That's what's up, man.
My
man.
Throwing money. I see you. At 51 in the building. Once you drop the miracles, where we at 313 in the building?
Sir.
Yes, sir. I seen some Jersey in the building too. 056, what it do?
Okay.
Appreciate everyone sticking around for the Uncensored Truth podcast. The people in the building right now, if you have an iPhone, if you have a Google phone, if you want to hear the extended version of the Uncensored Truth podcast live, going all the way in, go to iTunes, Spotify, all major online outlets. You can hear the Uncensored Truth podcast all the way raw, all the way uncut. We get into topics that most motherfuckers don't get into. We call out some motherfuckers that y'all would be pretty interested in talking about. We about our bread. We understand the business of YouTube. So we walk around a real fine line over here, but we give y'all the uncensored truth all the way.
Facts.
You know what I mean? On
what do you think about
Spotify.
that nigga still in that 70? I ain't gonna get it.
Oh! Pow.
70 racks.
Oh God, don't give him the old God of 2012. Don't bring out 2012. Oh God,
not that far back.
2013. Don't put on the Jason mask. 14, 15. Don't put on the Jason mask.
I was watching Michael Myers last night, though.
The new one?
Yeah, so
Halloween. That shit was ass.
You think so?
God. The new one?
Oh, come on,
that shit was ass.
I guess. I mean, the scary movies ain't like they was before.
You remember the old Jason movies?
Yeah.
The old Friday the 13th. Freddy was scary as a motherfucker. And we had a Friday, what is that? Elm Street, right across the street.
But the crazy part is everybody had that dream, I think. And put it in the comment section. Everybody dreamed about Freddy when they was young. I know I did.
Yeah.
I know you gonna have a dream about Freddie now.
You better not. Freddie was real. Now, you ain't about to throw dollars on here. You wild boy, man. Jamaica's in the building. Kingston in the building. Jersey 609.
Yuck,
we love our Jersey. 916 in the building. 919.
Yes, sir.
604. Yo, I was telling you about the Hip Hop Revolution on Netflix.
Okay.
Shout out to anybody in there that watches Hip Hop. What's it? Evolution on Netflix.
Right.
We got to start talking about some of them episodes, man, because they get deep. That's some fucking dope shit. And I remember sitting here having dance contests with the big ass 6-disc CD player and the tape deck here, and you had the MC Hammer single, and then we had Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style, and the Chronic too.
They don't know.
Having dance contest over here, man. It was just watching New Jack City and cursing and shit. It was wild.
We are hip hop, man. That's the thing, man. My dad was the DJ, you know what I mean? So I listen to everything, man. We are hip hop. We grew up. We got to see, you know, the artists as they were coming up. So that's why we love what we do, and we appreciate the people. You know, as always, 212 in the building, 713 in the building, 252 in the building, 530 in the building. We appreciate y'all, man.
All
really,
long,
really, man.
Sincerely, man. We don't even care about the numbers, everything. We see, we've done so many different kind of numbers on here, but we sincerely appreciate the real ones that can come in here and vibe with us. These are the ones we care about the most. You know what I mean? This means a lot that y'all rocking the route with us. You could be anywhere else, like old guy says at the beginning of the podcast, but you're sitting right here with us during the hour. We appreciate that sincerely. Shout out to everyone in the comments section.
People are looking, Sandman, for like they love good content.
Fact.
I'm starting to realize that people can really enjoy that. And especially when things happen, people want to hear people talk about it. No different when a football game's over. You want to hear people talk about it. When somebody does the diss song, you want to hear people, you know, kind of talk about it. So we're happy to fill that void. Only thing we need y'all to do is just participate by sharing the videos, liking the videos, and always just leaving a comment, man. Letting us know what you think about the content, right, wrong, or indifferent. We do appreciate it.
Indeed, man. Want y'all stay tuned next week. Subscribe to Hip Hop News Uncensored, Viral Hip Hop News, the Uncensored True Podcast official channel. Because next week we got a great show lined up for you.
Oh, man.
Kenyatta Griggs coming in the building.
It's about to be over, Sam, man.
You got your barber from KLD Barbershop coming in the building, Mr. Machismo himself.
And we got a lot more people, you know what I mean, that I'm reaching out to. So
yeah, OBH members in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got a lot of great things coming. So the Uncensored True Podcast is about to take over. Little do y'all know, your favorite Joe Budden podcast, the Brilliant Idiots, whatever podcast y'all listen to with all these different staff and all this.
Right.
Anybody else see me talking to or giving thumbs up to? It's my little man right behind us.
Right.
And even though he's going to be a CEO one day, he don't run nothing here. We do the cameras, we do the lighting, we do the computers, we do the fucking audio,
editing.
It's a two-stop shop, baby. Right here, CEOs of the Uncensored True Podcast, man. And we appreciate it. We wouldn't want to do it anywhere else, any other way.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we're taking over the game every day of the week.
Yes, sir. But with that being said, fam, we are out of here. The music that you hear is from my boy, Jason Toro, and it's King Toro 84 at Instagram. If you're looking for, you know, any, you know, type of music, hit my man up. We do appreciate y'all. On the way out, Travis Jones, I see you in the building. Shantae Johnson, I do see you in the building. Gloria, you know, my man Monterey Moore, we appreciate you. 313 in the house. Christoph Lee, respect my opinion. We appreciate y'all, man. We're going to continue. My man Wax Dog.
Yes, sir.
We're going to continue to give you the most accurate, up-to-date hip-hop news and news from all over the world. Let's get it, man.
Indeed, indeed. Appreciate each and every one of y'all out there. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to Viral Hip Hop News.
Yeah.
Hip Hop News Uncensored, the Uncensored Truth Podcast on YouTube. And make sure you grab your motherfucking phones right now.
Yeah.
Get on your iPhone, go to the podcast, subscribe to the Uncensored Truth live on iTunes, subscribe to the Uncensored Truth on Spotify, any online outlet you have. Get there, join the movement, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get them numbers up as dope as they are on Hip Hop News Uncensored, Viral Hip Hop News. You heard?
Yes, sir. Right there on iTunes right now. But with that being said, man, we out of here.
Love y'all, man.
You know what I mean? We out.
Peace.